What's up guys, Austin here from Airsoft Station, and today we are reviewing the new Valken Tactical Alloy Series. Now this is going to be my personal opinion, I have nothing to base this off of, however I think this is going to be a game changer for Valken. And the reason I say that is because their new alloy series are amazing, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about them, but previously Valken had great entry-level to mid-level guns. They were great bang for your buck, they were very budget friendly, they were a lot of firepower for not a lot of wallet, you know? However, this gun is a huge step up, and Valken, they were great guns, but they just simply couldn't compete with those $400, $500, $600 guns, which is fair. You know, they were an entry-level to mid-level gun. These guys, on the other hand, are very different. They are not those previous Valken series that you all know and are familiar with. These guys are new and they are cool, and I'm just going to break it down for you. So there's a couple variations. They have a PDW version, which has a really small collapsible stock and a short rail, short barrel, just to make it, you know, PDW. And then they also have the MKII, the MKII, the MKIII. The one in my hands here is the MKIII. The only variations between that, besides the PDW, is just going to be barrel length and rail length, and then on the MKIII they have this very cool aggressive flash hider. So we're going to start at the front. I already mentioned it, the flash hider. Full metal, very lightweight, the gun is very balanced. It's very aggressive looking, however it is a lot of orange. So just so you guys are aware, there are 14mm counterclockwise threads under this flash hider, just in case it is too much orange for you. I personally really like it, but if it's too flashy for you, it's easy to swap that out. Full rail right here. It is MKII, except for in the very front. There's a small Picatinny patch on the bottom, the sides, and then the top obviously is full Picatinny. All the rest of it is MKII, which is great because you don't have to, you know, use up all that weight and all that metal for rail space that you're not going to use. So you can just put those rail spaces where you need them, where you want them, and keep the rest of it streamlined, low profile, very sleek looking. Moving back even farther here, we have these very cool 45-degree angled sights. Now, there's only two negatives on this gun. The one, which is my fault because I could just scoot it up a little bit, they flip up, and the way I placed them, I can't open up the dust cover with it, but again, that's not really a negative because if I just moved it up to Picatinny spots, it wouldn't be a problem. So that's not really a negative, but just so you're aware, you do have to move the rear sight up a little bit. But other than that, these sights are very cool. They're full metal, CNC aluminum. They flip up with a push of a button, and these 45 sights are very cool. The idea of them is that you can have an optic with magnification on top, and that's going to be what you use for those longer shots. And then when you get into that close quarter situation, you can just tilt the gun 45 degrees, and you've got your iron sights right there for that full sight picture. They are very, very nice, and I've never seen a gun come from the factory with these. That's new and it's very cool. A lot of people buy these aftermarket, and now you don't have to. They come right in the box. So very cool. Just keep in mind, you do have to be very close for these to be functional, because either you're keeping the gun straight and you're moving your head way over to look down the sights, which is just simply not that convenient, or you're tilting the gun, which is what they're intended for, and on a real steel gun, it doesn't matter. However, on Airsoft, you do have that hop up, so just be aware, if you are tilting that gun 45 degrees, it better be for a close shot, because the way hop up works, puts backspin on the BB, and they fly straight when your gun is aligned upright. However, if you tilt it, they're suddenly going to be curving to the left. So just be aware of that. These are for close shots, which is fine, because if you have a optic on top, the only time you're ever going to use these are the guys right there. So moving back even farther, you've got a metal upper, polymer lower, included 400 round high cap magazine. It does have the Allen wrench hole on the side for quick winding, just so you guys are aware. Functional bolt catch, which again, when this sight is down, doesn't work, so make sure you scoot it up a little bit. I already mentioned that. But yeah, functional bolt catch, very nice. It's got a one-piece hop-up in here, makes it very convenient for adjusting your hop-up, and then when you're done, close it up and keep everything protected. Very nice. Another thing, moving back here, you've got the full metal sling attachments, and then that's about it. You've got a 6-position adjustable stock, and here's the second negative, which is really the only negative because this one is My fault, I just should have placed it higher up. But with that being said, the stock tabs on the butt plate here, they do feel very stiff and very brittle. So that is one genuine negative. I was actually nervous to even squeeze them in, so I didn't even do that. I just took the whole stock off when I put the battery in it, just because they do seem very brittle and it would not be good to break the butt plate off of your brand new gun. So just be aware. I'm not sure, I didn't squeeze on them very hard just because I didn't want to break them, but maybe they just need a little breaking in and then they'll loosen up, but they do seem very, very stiff. Very nice rubberized butt pad though. Feels very nice on the shoulder. Not too sticky, but just sticky enough, if that makes sense. Moving to the internals on this gun, this is where I'm truly impressed. Before I even talk, I'm going to just show you the chrono clip here. This thing is incredible. That consistency of FPS is absolutely amazing. It was ranging from like 398 to 400. That's a 2 FPS variation, which people who go in and they modify their guns and they get their compression just absolutely perfect, they still can't even compete with that. This is a 2 FPS variation with a 9.6 and 0.20 BBs. That's absolutely incredible. So, the way they do that, I don't know how they fully do it. It does have a ported piston head, full metal tooth piston with the second tooth taken out for angle engagement purposes. And yeah, just 8mm bearings, 18-to-1 gear set in there. They've got a micro switch trigger, which is very nice. I wouldn't say this is 11-1 ready by any means, but that metal tooth piston and that micro switch trigger, you know, you're not going to be burning up contacts, you're not going to be tearing out plastic teeth. So I am not telling you it's 11-1 ready. However, it is pretty darn durable. So if you were going to run a LiPo in this, I would still go in there, I would upgrade, I would for sure get a MOSFET. But with that being said, this is a very, very durable gearbox. You can abuse this thing pretty hard before it gives out on you. Silver plated, low resistance wiring, you know, just everything that you would go in and modify on a gun, they've already done. And that's what I'm really, really impressed about, and that's why I say that this gun is a game changer. You know, everything that's convenient for the user, everything that the user would modify or upgrade, they've already done. You know, these 45-degree sights, it's got a quick change spring in there, which is just very convenient. You know, honestly, the only negative that I can come up with on this gun is that the butt pad tabs are a little stiff. That's seriously it. I was shooting it a little bit, and the range on this is absolutely amazing. It comes from the factory with a 603 inner barrel. I don't know what it's made of. It might be brass, it might be stainless steel. I didn't take a look at that, but either way, it works, because I was shooting, and I didn't even set the hop up. I just pulled it out of the box, and I was shooting at this tree that was easily probably 150, maybe 170 feet away. I might be exaggerating a little bit on that. It was probably like 150, but either way. And I was just nailing it. I wasn't even looking down the sights. I was just looking down the side of the gun, pulling the trigger, and the range is just incredible. So then I moved off to the left a little bit, and I was shooting out into the field, and it just kept going. And I think a little bit of that is that consistency. You know, as we all know in the airsoft world, FPS doesn't matter when it comes to accuracy. It's your barrel, your hop up, and your consistency, and that is the most important thing. It doesn't matter if you have an amazing hop up and an amazing barrel. If one of your shots is 360 FPS and the next shot is 450 FPS, it's not gonna, there's no way that you can dial in that hop up. So when you have consistency, each shot is going to be the same, and that is what is so impressive about this gun, at least in my opinion. So I've said it before, I'll say it again, I think the Alloy series from Valken Tactical is going to be a game changer, because although it's not in that entry-level price range, man, is it a lot of bang for your buck. So I'm not just giving you a sales pitch here, I am genuinely impressed with this gun, and I kind of want one. So with that being said, that's about it for this video. Any questions you have, leave them in the comments, and until the next one, have a good one, guys.